Welcome to Heartglow CEO, where high achievers evolve into purpose-driven powerhouses. I'm Casey Rossi, your integrative leadership coach. Join us to break free from people-pleasing and burnout, exploring mindset, embodiment, and soul alignment. Discover expert insights, success stories, and actionable tips for holistic wealth on your terms. This is where transformation meets the modern female leader. Let's go. I don't know about you, but calm clarity is one of those top things that I desire in my life, and also the people that come to me for support. It's one of their number one reasons. They want to be confident. They want calm. They want to have that clear focus. And I'm so excited to be your guide on this journey of soul-aligned success and conscious leadership. As we stand on the brink of a new year, I wanted to explore something powerful with you. How to close energy loops to create more calm and clarity in your life. This is the perfect time to reset, regroup, and recommit. I think of all the re's, right? Because we can give ourselves permission to relaunch, to reevaluate. But before we can move forward with intention, we need to look at what we're carrying. Some things will empower us into the new year, while others are ready to be released into the rearview mirror. So grab a cozy drink, settle in, and let's journey together. Let's start with this. Unresolved energy loops. Those unfinished conversations, lingering projects, or even unspoken feelings can drain you. They occupy mental and emotional space, leaving very little room for clarity or creativity. You know that I love my science nuggets, and research shows that the human brain seeks closure, a concept known as Zeigarnik effect. It's why unresolved tasks keep popping in your head, nagging you for attention. To me, it's like Groundhog Day. Oh, wow, here it is again. Wow, that again? Oh my gosh, that's not done yet? And I'm sure you can nod your head because it happens to all of us. When we close these loops, we free up mental bandwidth. Studies on the power of intention and resolution have shown that people who consciously close loops experience a 30% reduction in stress and a significant boost in focus. 30%. Imagine starting your year with that kind of clear energy. So step 1, reflect and take inventory. Begin by carving out a quiet moment for yourself. And I know sometimes that can seem impossible, especially if you have littles or you're really focused on the productivity of your to-do list. But trust me when I tell you that you will have increased productivity by taking a little pause and having this self-reflection time. All right, so reflect on the years passing. What's left undone? This could be a project you keep meaning to finish, a conversation you've been avoiding, or even a self-care practice you promised yourself but never prioritized. Make a list, don't judge it, just let it flow. This act alone is like holding up a mirror to your life and saying, I see you. Step 2, decide what gets to stay and what gets to go. And I really love this part because I'm all about choice and autonomy. And this is so empowering where you literally, if you struggle with this, you get to take permission. You get to grant yourself permission and be like, you know what? I get to choose. I get to say yes when it feels right. And I get to say no when it doesn't. It's that simple. And sometimes this is the hardest paradigm to unhook from, especially if you are a people pleaser or a perfectionist. So take a breath, give yourself permission, empower yourself, give yourself the power to choose and decide. Decide what gets to stay in your life, what gets to stay on your to-do list, what gets to rent space in your mind, and what goes. What doesn't serve you? What actually even matters to you right here, right now? Which of these loops will stay? Which align with the person you're becoming? That's a really powerful perspective because If we want something new, we have to do something different. And so part of this is really interesting because you get to step into the person who you want to be. It's such a powerful transition as we close out a year. Globally, you have the energy of all of these concepts floating around. New year, new you, all the things. And so ride that wave of the collective energy to refresh and reset and choose again. Now, some things will deserve your energy and others you will love to release. Letting go can be hard, but remember, releasing something doesn't mean failure. It means freedom. So if you said you wanted to, say, develop an online course this year, and it was like Groundhog Day on your list month after month, and it's still there, I really want you to be easy with yourself. If it's something you really don't want to do, cross it off your list, recycle it, let it go, because it will bring you so much renewed energy. And the one thing too is when you clear something out, it truly leaves space for something to flood in. And so maybe in that example, you had a concept or an idea of a course that maybe it wasn't 100% in alignment. Maybe there wasn't enough testing done that your ideal client was going to raise their hand for it and be excited for it. Maybe you've changed. Maybe you had a hard year and what you were going to speak on doesn't feel authentic anymore. So the thing is, when you release that with no judgment, no shame, no guilt, I have this very sneaky hunch that if you take some time and space without those low vibration feelings of guilt and shoulds, that something fresh and different that's more aligned with the person that you're meant to be, the person that you're stepping into, all of a sudden it's going to be like, bam, just like that, just like that. You can have darkness for ages, and when you strike a match, boom, there is light. And so I don't want you to fret when you start throwing away things and you say, you know what, this doesn't work for me any longer. I'm going to release this. I really want you to embrace the mindset that it doesn't mean failure, it means freedom. Freedom for something new, freedom for a breath of fresh air to come in, and then you can embody that and try it on and try again. All right, is that a deal? So as Rumi said, try not to resist the changes that come your way. Instead, let life live through you. And do not worry that your life is turning upside down. How do you know that the side that you're used to is better than the one to come? I love that. All right, step 3. For the loops that you're closing, take intentional steps. Write that email, pay that bill, have that heart-to-heart conversation, clean out the clutter drawer that drives you crazy, whatever it is. Take intentional steps to complete it. Even small actions can have a big, energetic payoff. One of the first things I do when I onboard with a client, I provide them a whole list of how to do these loops. Business-wise, personal-wise, it's really a way that we can clean the slate before we start to build and grow. So this is just a little snippet for you, but it's going to be very powerful because again, even small actions can have a big energetic payoff. And also there's momentum. You're going to start doing a little something and go, oh, I feel better. You're going to start organizing your stuff and be like, I can breathe. I can think. I'm more clear. I've been doing that. In fact, today I've been going through and kind of organizing my office and my desk. And I do have this kind of annoying habit that I have a bunch of really cool notebooks. And I will flip it to a new page when I have this brainstorm and dump it all out on the paper. And then I literally have like 5 or 6 different notebooks on my desk. And so even today I was just like, okay, let's consolidate. I really don't need all of these notebooks. And I just started kind of pulling the pages out and organizing them in piles. And like literally I'm looking at my desk and it's like, create a new lead magnet. Here's my web development section. Here's my client information. Here's content that I want to share. Just categorizing all the stuff that I had loaded in several different notebooks has brought me so much more mental clarity and also excitement, because I think sometimes you can have these amazing ideas, and then when you're actually sitting down in front of the computer, you're ready. You're like, okay, what was I going to do again? I don't know about you. I don't know if that's the over 50 brain or what, but you can have the most amazing brainstorm, and then literally if you don't take action on it, it can fade away. And so part of my realigning and part of the inspiration that I even wanted to do this closing your energy loops today was because that's what I am doing today. That's what I did earlier this morning, is just get all of my thoughts categorized in one place with a little sticky note that has all of the other loose leaf paper underneath that. So when I sit down and I'm like, oh, I want to create some content, I can just go to that stack of all these different ideas that I've collected through the year. If I have a deep work block and I want to update my website, I'm just going to go to the stack for my web dev. That's it. It's so much more simple. So whatever it is for you, just take those intentional steps. Get organized. And for the loops that you're carrying forward, it's very similar. Create a plan, write it down, and when you set this clear intention and take even the smallest step forward, you're telling your brain this matters. And that clarity is incredibly calming. Step 4 is to celebrate closure. If you know me, if you've worked with me, I am all about celebrating the wins. I start out all of my coaching conversations with, how are you winning? What's going well? And this is no different, because we repeat what is rewarded. And it's a lot of times as entrepreneurs and leaders, there's not a lot of people behind us being like, way to go, that's awesome. If you have a mentor or a coach, they're probably your biggest cheerleader. But if you don't, or you're going it alone, it can be this void of nothingness. And sometimes it's hard to keep that motivation. So I really invite you to close the loop with joy and celebrate yourself. Acknowledge the effort you made and the space that you reclaimed. This isn't just about checking boxes. It's about honoring yourself and the energy that you freed for what's next. That's a really key point, because sometimes we're like, oh, whatever, crumble up the piece of paper, throw it in the garbage, and we move on. That's not very stimulating for the brain. There's not a lot of motivation or instigation, if you will, to do it again. But if you were to really think about, what is the power of this? Oh, okay, let me just sink into that. It kind of connects back to the why of it. Your deep why of even having your business, or your deep why of even being in the position that you're in. And when you start to think about this closing loop exercise in the terms of what are going to be your net gains, not only mentally, right? You're going to have those mental gains of more focus and clarity, but you're also going to have the physical gains, like we said in that stat, 30% less stress. That's in your hands. To me, that's so exciting. You're also going to have a spiritual cleansing, right? Because you don't have these loops or these cords that are connecting you to all of these people, places, and things that you're conscious or unconscious of. Because right now you're going to take that space, that breath, that reflection to literally think about who you're taking forward into the next year, what you're taking forward into the next year, and how you want to show up for yourself. It's extremely powerful. It opens up a huge amount of energy on multiple levels. So exciting. So as you step into 2025, I encourage you to take this practice to heart. In fact, maybe even put your hand over your heart with me right now. Take a nice deep breath. Imagine what it feels like to open up the space in your body, in your heart, and in your mind. 3 major energy centers. Just imagine that. Feel what it feels like to even have your hand over your heart. This simple act can transform your energy, your mindset, and your life. This is just such a simple way to have coherence, right here, right now, just breathing in through your heart, allowing yourself to just settle in, commit to this reflection, to this exercise. It does not have to be lengthy to be powerful. And I think you're going to really see a difference as you kind of cross the finish line of 2024 and move in to new space. Even though it's just one day off in the calendar, there is such a mental shift. And I want you to take advantage of that. It may not even make any logical sense, right? But I want you to take advantage of this collective wave as everybody is closing out, saying no to what no longer serves them, saying yes with hope for what they want to bring more in, and then just moving forward and doing it with so much grace and so much care for yourself. That's going to be key. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I am grateful for you and this beautiful journey that we're on together. I so appreciate your time, for you to allow me to literally be in your head on a weekly basis. I love recording these episodes for you. I can't wait to bring you new, exciting, and actionable inspiration next year, which is literally next week. And so, if this episode or the show has inspired you in any way, share it with someone you care about. You can also leave a rating and review at lovethepodcast.com/brilliance. Let's make 2025 a year of calm, clarity, and courageous steps forward. Until next time, my friend, keep shining and breathe joy.